I'd like to just talk for a few minutes. Over the last few months, there have been many profound changes that have certainly taken place inside of me. A kind of quiet, the depth of really touching on energy that's more real, that's more transcendent. And it's been kind of an amazing period. It's also been one of the hardest periods I've had to live through in a long time. Kinds of physical things and, all kinds of stuff going on. But what came out of it was something to me that I found quite extraordinary. And that really has to do with the nature of shakti, the nature of energy, what it is, and what we as human beings have to do in order to allow it to truly function. Please try and sit still. Try and sit still. In order to function in our daily lives. I mean, there is no positive or negative energy in Shakti. Energy of Shakti is pure. It's the energy of God. It's the energy of creativity. It creates everything in the universe. How it manifests in the world, completely depends upon how the inner development of a human being. Are our hearts open? Is there love inside us? Are our minds quiet? Have we developed a chakra system that's strong enough to transform all of the negativity into positive energy? When a human being builds that kind of system inside themselves, energy of a higher nature manifests exactly as they are, as the person is. Love, compassion, joy, a connection with God, forgiveness, the ability to recognize the suffering in other human beings. And it depends entirely upon exactly what we have built inside ourselves. And when a person comes to realize this, they truly take full responsibility for their lives. They can't blame it on other people. They can't blame it on all the nonsense and insanity that goes on in the world. If they change inside, the world around them they see also begins to change, or at least they see it differently. Instead of it being an enemy and instead of it being, something that really is there to do down, it becomes a teacher. It is teaching us what we need to do to grow and build a deeper connection with higher energy of love. I mean, to me, this was really an amazing realization because it really told me very simply and clearly, my work is not to complain about the world. My work is to change inside myself. My work is to consciously build a chakra system that allows the heart to stay open, that allows the mind to be quiet, that gives me the energy to truly interact with the rest of life with compassion, with love, with kindness, and also with strength. But strength is not a negative thing. Strength allows compassion and love and kindness to manifest. Otherwise, it's just ripped right out of people by all the tension that goes on in the world. To me, this was an amazing awakening. I mean, to realize this. And it just came down to a simple fact. Shakti is not positive or negative. The energy of God is not positive or negative. It's just energy that creates the universe. It's what happens from the time we're born, you understand, to the time we get older, and how we transform ourselves due to the conditioning and the way people are educated in life, that keeps people from opening their hearts and feeling love inside themselves, living a life of being a victim, being full of guilt, being full of insecurity. And that pure energy manifests that way. And it's what we give off, it's what we to other human beings. because we haven't done the work inside to transform ourselves. And I love this kind of, because it really comes down to take full responsibility for one's life. And when a human being goes through difficult times, you understand, they know how to stay centered and balanced inside. And they also understand that these times, it'll pass, everything passes. What can I learn from what I'm going through? I mean, that's what the chakras are for, to build that kind of system inside in a human being. And to be able to transmit love, happiness, joy, patience, compassion, kindness. And we transmit it not because we think in our mind, oh, those are good things and I'm going to, it's because we have evolved into a state of being that is so connected with spirit and has developed to such a high that that energy just passes through us. And that's the way we connect with the world. With our families, with our parents, our children, with the people we work with. And this is really profound. It's a profound way to interact with life. And it also enables us to get closer and closer to a state of spiritual enlightenment, a oneness with God, a oneness with the universe, a oneness with life. And not as some concept that we read in a book, but as living experience. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? So when you go, I mean, look, we all go through difficult times, you know? We all have our ups and our downs. Nobody is perfect. And when we go through those times, we just have to remember, hey, this is what I need to learn. It's teaching me that I need to continue to build a system inside that is strong enough to transform the ups and downs into love, into happiness. You know, I always, there's an aria in Handel's Messiah where they sing about every mountain and every valley and every hill, you know, the crooked made straight, the rough places plain. I mean, you know, it's really right out of the Bible that it's talking about the exact same thing that I'm talking about now. And I'm really not a religious person. But when I heard that, I started to laugh. I said, my God, you know, when they wrote that, the person that it came understood the crooked has to be made straight, the rough places plain. Inside every human being. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? I know this is strong stuff, it's very deep stuff, but I guess that's what I'm here to do. I don't want to transmit nonsense, you know? I want it to be strong, I want it to be deep, I want it to be loving, I want it to truly allow myself to transform my inner life as well as everyone who attends these classes. Otherwise, what's it all about, you know? Does anyone have a question?
Stuart?
Yes, yes, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, I I resonate with everything you're saying, you know, and personally, I aspire to approach every day from this place, you know, and um, I feel where I'm at today, I have to remind myself to that's where to live from and not to get caught in the daily activities, you know, and it's a process of working towards it.
Larry, I have to do the exact same thing every day. I mean, nobody is perfect. We all have things that we have to work against. We all have ups, we have downs. They're financially, they're emotionally, they're relationship things, they're family things. And this goes on with every human being. And that is part of the perfection. We need to be reminded, and we need to arrive at the place where we can, as you said, remind ourselves that we're not going to get stuck in the muck. Very important. I mean, you know, look, Rudy always talked. He always used to talk. He used the metaphor of an oyster. I mean, produces a pearl, and what produces the pearl is the irritation in the oyster. And we're the same way. We're like oysters. We need pearls. We're like diamonds, are the product of 50,000 years of the Earth's pressure creates a diamond. All of these things are just metaphors for what goes on inside every human being. And we have to truly learn to recognize it and stop thinking ever that we're perfect. God is perfect. The rest of us have to work on ourselves. The rest of us have to grow and open, and there's nothing wrong with that because it leads to creative lives. I mean, imagine walking around here being perfect. I mean, it'd probably be a very boring life, you know? But being reminded that we have to grow and evolve and develop consciousness. I mean, this to me is an extraordinary thing. And it's also a gift of God, the imperfection. We have to arrive at a place that you stated, Larry, where we don't forget. Understand? And we don't get caught up in the muck and lose all the energy in our emotions or mind. And oh my God, it's so terrible and difficult. And we say, okay, this is what I got to learn. I will grow because of this. I will become more of a human being because of this.
It's 2:00.
So it's not a matter of being perfect. It's a matter of growing closer to perfection and never thinking that one will ever be perfect, because that is really God. I mean, I remember I met some guy who claimed to be the perfectly enlightened master, you know, and I walked in the other direction. I said, no, that, you know. And I remember Rudy always talking about himself being the imperfectly enlightened master, you know, and he always opened with gratitude for the fact that he had imperfections and they made him grow in his life.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Larry. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? Okay, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to see all of your faces and people working deeply on themselves, and God bless you all. You know, I mean, if I ever have imperfections, I have to transform them just to sit here and do this work with you, you know? So God bless you for being here and for being part of this. And there'll be a class again on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.